Bedard here. How are you doing? Another episode of my vlog, and I thought I would talk today about why I blog as opposed to vlogging. By the way, if you hear some bouncing in the background, that is my new dog who is pretty hyper and likes his ball and is going to be bouncing it around. So you're going to hear that around. That's just what happens. Anyways, why do I blog? Well, you know what? It's actually kind of embarrassing how I got into blogging. Way back in 2006, I co-wrote a book called Unmasking the Pagan Christ. And I will admit that I did some Google searches to see if anyone was talking about the book. I wanted to see if anyone was paying attention. And so I did some searches to see for that. And I came across a blog of someone who was going through the book and did a multi-part series looking at the book. And that was my introduction to blogging. I thought, hey, this is kind of cool. And so I decided I was going to do that. And so my first blog was on the Blogger platform. And it was called Down by the Bay. And the reason for that was that we were living right across the street from Georgian Bay in Meaford, Ontario. And so I thought that'd be a great name for a blog. And it was mostly personal stuff, some faith things, some church things. But it was just a kind of a hodgepodge of different things. Over the years, I've gotten a little bit more specific, but then I've gotten general again. So I've had numerous blogs over the years, and at some point, I kind of brought them all together at my stephenjbedard.com website. And so I have everything from apologetics to disabilities to comic books and science fiction to C.S. Lewis. Really, it's a whole bunch of everything because I've combined a number of different blogs I had out there into one site. I don't necessarily recommend people do that. If you're starting out blogging, it's probably not a good idea to do that. But the reason I blog is that I just really enjoy doing it. It helps me to just sort through my thoughts and to think through things. Oftentimes, my blog posts are just me encountering something and trying to figure out what does that really mean? What is a Christian response, or what is my own personal idea of what that means? And so I work through that. And just the way my personality is, I'm more likely to work out that by writing than by anything else. And so I enjoy doing it. And I've gotten lots of good feedback from people too, that there are other people who like some of the things that I write, and it seems to hit a chord with certain people. Of course, there are some people who don't like it. So if you go through my blog and look at the comments, you're going to see some people who really dislike me. And that's okay. That actually tells me I'm probably doing something right. Because if everyone absolutely agreed with everything I said, probably I'm being pretty vague. So it's good to have some convictions, and that I certainly don't try to offend people, but it does happen from time to time. And so I also do it for my own mental health. It's something for me to do. Now, it seems weird because I'm a pastor, and so you would think writing on faith, writing on the Bible, that those kind of things really are too close to what my actual job is. So how is that helpful? And yet I do find it relaxing. I find when I have an idea in my mind, I can get it out there, and that act of creativity, it's enjoyable for me. And so I feel better after I do it. So some people think I put out way too much content, and perhaps I do, but you know what? It's what I need. It's what makes me feel good, feel mentally healthy, and so I do that. So now, in terms of blogging, I basically have 3 blogs. Actually, I'll say 3.5. StephenJBedard.com is my main website, so I encourage you to check that out. Also, have a podcast called the History of Christianity Podcast. And if you go to the historyofchristianitypodcast.com, you will find that there is a blog on history, things related to Christian history. And so that's part of it as well. Even though the podcast is the main part of that, I do blog on that as well. Also have JesusMythTheory.com. And that's another thing, that's my most recent one. And so I enjoy doing that. That actually was the topic of that Unmasking the Pagan Christ book that I was talking about before. And I said in a half because those are my 3 blogs, but I also at my church website, which is Queen Street, just ST, queenstreetbaptist.org. I do blog from time to time there for my congregation, but some of the stuff is general and people might be interested in that as well. But that's why I blog. So you may not blog, you may not like to read blogs, but I happen to like it. And I'm glad that there are some other good bloggers there. I've been able to encounter some great people through blogging. And it seems as if God has used some of that stuff as well. And so I'm thankful for that. Anyways, that's my thoughts on why I blog. I would love to hear from you. If you blog, why do you blog? And you know what? Actually, if you leave a link to your blog in the comments to this YouTube video, I'll check it out. I'll check out your blog and come and visit you and see what you're up to. Well, that's about it. Hope you have a great day, and God bless you.